Big up everyone here right now on Never a Foul. Massive panel for you guys. Big up every single one of you. Make sure you're smashing the likes. This, I don't know, man. This new version, top of the table. Does this game mean more than it should? FA Cup tie, at Man City, the Etihad, where, the last time actually Arsenal won was actually in the FA Cup, but it wasn't exactly at the Etihad. It was at the Emirates. Last time they won at the Etihad was quite a while ago. But things have changed. Things have changed. Big up Mojis in the building, Sophia's Football Talk, one of our members. Love to see it. That's a mad name. Black Kid Next Door. All right, cool, man. If that's what you want to rock with that, it's up to you, man. But you said your defense is in trouble, the Nketiah stuff.
Your defense is in trouble.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to get the panel in, and I think it's only right that I introduce the guy that I run this channel with, massive Man City fan, doing the numbers lately, doing the rounds, gave it to KG. I think he shut him up a little bit until obviously the 2-1 happened, but he can hold his own, and it's going to have to be my boy Daps all the time, man. What you saying, man?
The thing is, I'm on Big Six Extra with KG tonight as well. and I know you said that he's put a message on Saeed's vlog,
Yeah.
I never went and checked it. I ain't watched nothing from that shitty game.
Comes with
so it's going to be the first time I'm facing him tonight. Should be fun. Hopefully his soundboard isn't working, but it probably is. So
that guy can't remember. That guy carries that soundboard everywhere.
I know.
You got zero chance, and you know what?
And this is the thing. Turkish is doing this to me, right? Because I've been waiting for a Big Six Extra where we've won 2 games on the bounce and I can just sit, relax, no pressure. I thought I had that this week, and then I find out fucking I've got to face KG.
I mean, there could be chess. There could be chess. There could be chess. But what kind of nullifies that is that we have got
lost to Arsenal.
We lost to Arsenal. We drew against Palace, and rightfully so. I have to bring my guy in all the way from Manchester. He would never ever back down from anybody. Doesn't accept no as an answer, and he's been right about Arsenal really pretty much this whole way through, man, since the start of the season. And you know what? Big up Premzy in the building, man. What are you telling me?
First of all, thank you for having me on. Big up to the chat, big up to the panel. It's going to be tasty, 2 top teams going at it for the first time this season.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Nah, big up to yourself, bro.
Nah, love, man. And also, can everyone appreciate his good hair, We all wish we had hair like Premzy.
Mate, thank you.
Yeah, man. We're all jealous in this room right now, man. This is why we wear hats and stuff. But someone whose hair isn't flying, but his head's hot and he can't wait for this to race up, Never doubt Man City when it comes to the business end of the season, and he's been very calm about it, Might have said a few things here and there, but he's passionate about his club. You could say he's like a little kid at times when it comes to the passion, and just like any of us, roaring with it. Can't wait for it to get going, and I'm pretty sure he has something to say. Man like Big Ste in the cut. How are you, my friend?
All good, man. All good.
Love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. What are you saying then, Steve, man? What's been going on lately? How was your holiday?
Cool, man. Yeah, I needed to defrost the kids, in it. They're freezing and that, Manchester. So put them out there, dipped them in the sea, got them a bit warm and that. A few ice creams, chilled out, left my phone in the safe. And I'm ready and refreshed now. Back at it.
Love to hear it, man. Refreshed. And someone is about to join us to obviously make it a 2v2. Mr. Big Six himself, the original founder of it. It's his first time on the channel, So big up him in the cut, taking his time out, his busy schedule. Man, that Turkish, man. I ain't spoke to you since the awards, but hopefully you're not as busy for everyone. But here you are giving up your time, man.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Love for inviting me on, Daps. You know what it is already, man. A Big Six Extra brother now.
Yeah, for
so
real.
I can only give back, obviously, busy life. Little one, Big Six Extra AFTV. So time is of the essence, but I got to make it happen for my guy, Daps, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to dive straight into it then. Let me. Since it's at the Etihad, I'm gonna dive straight into it with Steve. Then, is this game bigger than what people might make it out to be currently?
I don't know. It's for me. We haven't played them this season, so obviously it's first look at them. But it's going to be totally different. Pep's going to play a team totally different. Arteta, I think, is not going to want to show his hand. We've had a couple of games recently where our so-called big players have been dropped. They've not been turning up. But if you look at the bench, last few games, Cancelo, Walker, Diaz, Foden, Bernardo, they usually start for us. I think they're going to start on Friday because they've got a point to prove. I think Pep left them out for a reason. Said some of them mentality wasn't there, whatever. For me, it's an ideal opportunity for them to stake a claim and show everybody that they have got the mentality. Pep threw them under the bus. He threw the fans under the bus as well, trying to get a reaction out of us both. Fans turned up. Wolves, we did our job. These so-called superstars, the ones that he said lacking mentality, they've got to turn up Friday.
100%, man. But Premzy, man, like, I'm gonna throw the same question back to you. It's the first time, you're facing City this season. Obviously, the bragging rights have to be there, and I think this is probably the correct game, even if it is the FA Cup, to show a statement. Like, again, because there have been doubters, including myself, of Arsenal this season, to make another statement out there. It's like times are changing. Like, Arsenal are here. Like, and this time we're not gonna roll over.
No, I agree to a certain extent. If we beat City at their ground, their stadium, it'll have a mentality switch and it'll give these guys some belief. But don't get it twisted, it's going to be totally different, the FA Cup, than it is the Premier
Of
League.
course.
And like Steve said as well, I don't think both managers are going to want to show their hand too tough. I think there will be quite a few changes, even though, we're not playing for a week now. So it wouldn't surprise me if Arteta went in there strong with the same 11 that he does play in the Premier League. But I think he will give people like Trossard and players like that a little rotation and a little go at it. I think El Nene's being, noticed that he's injured and he could be out for a while. So I'm not going to lie. If we play Sambi Lokonga in the middle of the pitch, I know Partey might need a rest and we don't want him to get injured, but then I think it's a wrap. I'm not going to lie, bro. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. But City are favourites. They're at home. You know what I mean? And we're just going to have to wait and see, bro. But if we do win this game, then I agree 100%. The mentality edge is there. But at the same time, it can also be a test if we do play our first 11 and say, even if we did lose, the players will know what's to come when we play them in the Premier League. They'll have a little bite at it already and a bit of an understanding of how this City team play, because this City team, they're not the City of old. They are playing with a different style of play to what we've been accustomed to. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting, man. I can't put my finger on it, but it's going to be interesting.
100%, man. Turkish, obviously, big up yourself. So, obviously, I think from what you're saying, Premzy, was that he wants a bit of a rotated side. But do you think you can? I think maybe Arsenal might have to start picking and choosing what competition they really want to go far in, and maybe FA Cup's the time. But like, you know what, we ain't got the exactly the squad to really go on and fight on forefronts yet. But you are buying a few players at the moment. You got your Trossard, Fresneda. Is that his name? Fresneda.
Yeah, we haven't got him yet.
Haven't got him yet.
It's strong links, but yeah.
And then you got another. You got the Kivia, who's just coming, young Polish centre back, left footed. Arteta's building a serious side, man. Like, honestly, like, if anything's there, Polish internationals. You got your Belgium international, and now you're about to get one of the best young talents in Europe at the moment at right back in his position.
Yeah, listen, I agree with everything Premzy said. At the end of the day, I feel like this is like the warm up for the big one next month. February 15th, we meet each other in the league, but it's a nice taste of what's to come, because, this season we've been the two best teams in the league. Obviously, Arsenal are clear in terms of 5 points, game in hand, and so on. It's the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. Always have loved the FA Cup. Arsenal have won it the most times out of everyone, and that's not the reason I love it. I love it because I grew up on it being a spectacle. For 3-4 hours before the game kicks off to 2-3-4 hours after the game's finished. That's how it used to be covered on, what was it, BBC or whatever channel it used to be on. So the FA Cup has always meant something to me. But this season, Arsenal are it looks like headed in a very different direction compared to the last 5-10 years. We're top of the league. We've been playing the best football in the league. Pep said it himself. And it's come out of nowhere, in my opinion. It's come out of nowhere. But part of that is due to more or less a healthy squad throughout the season. I know we was unlucky with Gabriel Jesus, World Cup. One game he started, he got injured. He's out for 3-4 months. Aside from that, we've managed to keep ourselves pretty fit and healthy and manage the schedules well. Europa League comes back in March. FA Cup is not that much of a hindrance, in my opinion, in terms of added games into the schedule. But
Yeah,
I think
of course.
moving forward into March, we still got February to come. Arsenal definitely will need to prioritize. We did bring in Trossard. We did bring in Kivior. I'd like to see them against City, but at the same time, I'd understand fans saying to me, "What, Turkish? Like, that's a bit mad throwing them in at the deep end." I get that too, but at the end of the day, there's players that, in my opinion, we need to protect. There's a 7-day gap from Man City to Everton away for us, but still, I'd like my players to be fresh and ready for that Everton away game more so than
Manager bounce with Frank Lampard also, maybe, he just got the
potentially.
chop.
Potentially, yeah, that might be another test for us. So I think Arsenal have made their statement this season. It's not just one game, it's not 5, it's not 10, 19
Multiple.
games in. We are there. And I do feel like more of the pressure is on Manchester City going into not only the FA Cup tie, but going into the Premier League fixture next month too, because myself included, everyone expected City to do their thing again this season. They might still do their thing. It's
Yeah.
not far off. It's still very early days. But Arsenal currently lead the pack in the league. So I think, being at the Etihad as well, like Premzy said, the pressure is probably more on Manchester City. So I'd like to see what Mikel Arteta kind of does away at Etihad.
Do you think that's the case? That's like the pressure's on you guys a lot more at this current moment of time.
You know what? I think in the FA Cup, I think it probably is, right? I think the pressure is more on City at the moment because it's the FA Cup, but more because everyone knows right now, look, Arsenal have done everything they've had to up to this point. I've documented it. I've spoken it from the first game, that 2-0 win at Crystal Palace. That was a hurdle because last year they dropped points there. We dropped points at Selhurst Park at evening kickoff is not an easy game for anyone. So from that game, after they lost to you, the bounce back against Brentford, 3-0. That was a hurdle. Leeds away, where they weren't very good, but still got the win. That was a hurdle. Coming back after the World Cup, where everyone thought they wouldn't be able to pick up the same form, and without Jesus, all of them. And then going to White Hart Lane, where they never get points.
Well, let's get it straight. It's
every
the
single hurdle Arsenal have done to a point where, like, if you go back where I had that disagreement with the Arsenal fan and made a bet, £100 bet that City would finish above them. And I said, I respect them. And he said, no, you need to give us more respect. I said, no, you need to earn my fucking respect. In October, I'm not giving you more respect than saying I respect what you've done so far. But when we look at it now, they keep just earning our respect more and more and more. And they are like, they're the not just the informed team, they are the team playing the best football this season. However, here's the thing, right? And this is where I put a tweet out a week, 10 days ago saying this game isn't that important to Arsenal or City in the grand scheme of it, because both of us want the league. Arsenal probably want the Europa League more than they want the FA Cup, and we want the Champions League more than we want the FA Cup. But then I've been thinking about it, and I think it's got to a point now where you could say that at the moment, maybe we will never fear anyone, but we're looking at Arsenal, looking at Arsenal's form, and maybe Arsenal are thinking, yeah, do you know what? We could take on City. And everyone's saying it. You know what? Arsenal are the best team in the league. Now, if we get a win at the Etihad, all of a sudden, it is a bit of a reminder to Arsenal that, yeah, cool, it's great what you're doing. You're looking great. But once again, like the last 11 of the last 12 times we've played you, if City win, going into that league game, it is that little reminder in the back of Arteta's head. And I think for me, the fact that neither of us have got a game I think you guys have got a game 8 days later. We've got a game, I think 9 days later.
Yeah.
I think Arteta and Pep, neither of them will want to lose this game. Neither of them.
Neither
of them ever want to lose games, but I can see both of them knowing this one is very important for the players' mentalities. Very important.
I agree, man, wholeheartedly. Let me do a little something quick. I'm going to run through just a couple of the comments as well, man. See if someone's talking that crap, right, Steve? But yeah, man, big up everyone in here. Make sure you check out all the guys in the channels in the description below. It's also in the title. They're giving up their days, subscribe to Big Steve. Subscribe to Premzy. I think he's on the road, you could say, to 10K. Let's just put that mark there. Turkish on the road to 100, So, hey,
I like the way Turkish called out his tea when he said that.
Arrogant, just like the fan base currently.
Nah, not even.
But yeah, man, I make sure you're smashing the likes. But like
to be fair, it's well deserved, man. He needs to be on 100K already, man.
man.
That Big Six, bro. I'm telling you now for a fact, one of the best shows knocking around, man.
Love,
Don't know how you're not on 100 already, bro. It's mad.
because these people forget, man. Likes and subscribes. Gets your little reminders. You like it, you push out to more people. You subscribe, you get a notification bell. Oh, look, these are going live. Oh, Premzy's here to talk crap on Man United again, you know? Calling everybody's phone like, what?
Surprised you showed up today, fam. Fucking
I
hell,
don't
mate.
I don't hide, man. I don't hide. What's it called? Fraser says here, Turkish, will you shave your beard if Arsenal win the league?
I don't know why people say this. If Arsenal win the league, I'm going mad. I ain't looking to fucking appease people on the internet by doing what they want me to do. I don't give a shit about all that.
Hey, fair enough.
I'm not an entertainer. I'm a fucking Arsenal fan that does content. That's it. People need to stop with this whole entertainment thing. I'm an Arsenal fan. If you like to listen,
Manscaped, get it out.
Yeah,
Manscaped got the beard oil coming, so don't worry about that. Man's gonna keep this beard fresh.
Triple P says, as a bald bastard, I find it strange. Cast crushing on Premzy's hair, very sus, you know. And what? MashaAllah to that as well. How about that? I hope he keeps creeping you out, you weird guy, man. Triple P. Go bully Faz, man. That's all you do on his streams anyways. Big up Jamie in the building. I see many of you, you know, higher tech Jay as well. He says Arteta's going to play his full strength team. He talks about the best players at the best clubs needing to play 60, 70 games a season, man. Yeah, man. Big up to everyone. Make sure you smash the like button. But Steve, man, I think Pep is going to be absolutely dreaming of this game. Was it Friday night, right? So Friday.
Yeah, Friday night.
And I think Arteta as well is going to be like, I need to show my showcase. Obviously, let's just call it his sensei at the moment, like his teacher. You know, students, you know, surpass the teacher kind of thing. He's going to be licking his lips at that, in my opinion. I think Pep's going to be like, let me show him who's boss. Like, he's coming to Etihad, and I really think like this could be really good for the players as well.
Nah, listen, it's exciting times. It is what it is. I know that we're not up to speed of where we need to be. So I'm just hoping the last two results have kicked us into a bit of gear, you know, a bit of form. It's weird because people got to understand we've changed a lot about the club. We've let a lot of players go. People saying, oh, why did you let Zinchenko go? Why did you let Gabby go? They're not bum players that we're letting go to fucking Oldham Athletic. The quality players that have earned the right to, if they want to go regular football somewhere else, they can. So they chose Arsenal, obviously, because they trusted Arteta. They know him. Pep, what kind of a manager would Pep have been if he turned around and went, no, you're not going to Arsenal, and started making it difficult? He's never done that. Pep's a football man. If you want to go and play somewhere else, go play somewhere else. I don't believe City are a club that are asked about the rivals. I think, you know, we could have sold them to anyone else, obviously, other than Man United, obviously, but anyone else. But, you know, we're just doing our own thing. We've won the league 4 out of the last 5. To try and keep the hunger up after that is difficult. You can see it. There's certain players who are starting thinking about, oh, I don't like Manchester now. It's a bit shit and a bit rainy, and I wouldn't mind trying something else. And you're going to get that. You know, Liverpool have dropped off. Chelsea have dropped off. United are getting their mojo back again. But I'm not asked about any of them. I'm just asked about Man City and what we're doing. And all this nonsense about Haaland, fucking, oh, he's made you worse and all that. Anyone that says that ain't got a fucking clue about football. Haaland's job is to score goals. His job is to stay in the box, don't drop deep, start laying the ball off. We don't want you anywhere near the midfield, mate. You're a big fucking massive Norwegian goth. Stay in the box and fucking score the goals. And that's what he's doing. He's breaking records. We've just got to give him the ammo. But sometimes City, they're a little bit too pretty on the eye. Well, instead of putting the ball in, Riyad Mahrez has got the best touch, like a Bergkamp-esque touch. He brings it down, and I think, smash it in the box. Haaland's made the run, smash it. He'll check inside, or he'll twist him up again. Grealish is the same. And for Haaland, it's frustrating. The guy is not touching the ball for 22 minutes. Then he's having one fucking cross against Wolves the other day, scores it. And then they're taking him off after 60 minutes because he's got an hat-trick. Well, apparently he makes us worse. So we've just got to adapt to our play.
How many goals this season at the moment?
31.
In the Premier League.
25 in the Premier League, 31 in.
So he's beat Golden Boot officially then from last season.
No.
Last season, yeah. Last season's one, yeah.
But to beat Salah's record, I think he needs 7 more in.
Yeah.
Something like in 18 league games to get 7 goals.
This guy's on.
But we've never played with this. We didn't have a striker for 2 years. A, because Aguero, we sold him. And B, we went for Harry Kane. He didn't come off, but we didn't panic buy a striker. We went with a false 9. And we waited for Haaland. But we just got to tweak it. There's something missing. I can't describe it. I watch him every game. And I always used to say on the Big Six, I get a little feeling in my chest about certain things. And It's a weird feeling because
It's because City are not used to having a player like Haaland in the team. That's what it is. Over the years, you've had a false nine. So I think when people say that Haaland has kind of been a detriment to Man City, I don't think they mean he's a shit player. I just think the style of play that City are used to playing, they're not used to having a big man there.
That's what I'm saying. That's not Haaland. It's not like we're spamming crosses into to John Fashion you.
But to be fair, at the start of the season, Kevin De Bruyne have been putting it on a plate for him from all sorts of angles. You know what I mean?
But now, so there's your answer. So people are pressing Kevin De Bruyne. United man-to-man marked him with Fred. I know he got 3 for the goal, but they pressed him. If you pressed Rodri coming out from the back, if you press Rodri from the back, Rodri can only go one way, back. And then City are playing 70 passes in their own half. Against United at Old Trafford, that's 79% possession.
Do you know what do you know what for me it is? There's 2 things that I've noticed that are massive. One of them is the speed of the passing, Steve. Like the second half against Tottenham, all of a sudden the whole speed of the game was different. We were pressing them, and this is where I think recycling the ball comes into it. You know Pep's rule about winning the ball back within 3 or 5 seconds. Yeah, I've noticed that if you think about it, Steve, would you agree with me? Our two of our biggest letdowns this season are probably Bernardo Silva and maybe Gundogan to a certain extent. Yeah.
Gundogan hasn't got the legs to go pressing in the midfield.
We're not pressing, and we're inviting people back onto us. Like usually we're winning the ball back in other teams' halves. Whereas at the moment, we're inviting them back and then trying to win it in our own half. And ultimately, when we've got our centre-backs that we've had a lot of injuries, and then we're playing our full-backs inverted, it's not good inviting people.
We played 4 centre-backs at the back. Yeah. Ake, left-back, Stones, right-back. It's fucking weird. But at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola is a weird guy. And that's just because he's a genius. So I'm Big Steve, and people probably think I'm fucking weird, but I can't go and tell Pep Guardiola what to do. We're fans. We just got to turn up and deal with it. And
I think he will throw all the real bodies in there, though, Steve. Sorry to cut you. I think in this game he's going to give them players like Kyle Walker and all these guys the opportunity to show themselves again. Because over the last couple of games, they've all been dropped on the bench, and I think this game here, FA Cup, is probably the perfect opportunity for them to you know what I mean, claim a stake for the team and say, I want to be back, because Kyle Walker, he can't be happy sitting on the bench seeing a young kid coming in over him.
But if you're not happy, you've got to go and fucking fight, haven't you? Show a bit of passion. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what we're not getting from these players. The sulking. Bernardo Silva's coming out saying, "Oh, it's very hard for me to live in Manchester." I'd seen him at Chelsea. I was on the front row, and he came over. I said, "Get a fucking sunbed." That's what I told him.
I see the video. Shit.
You know what I mean? I'm not having none of that bullshit. I play for Man City for free. I'm fucking shit. I'm fat and overweight when I would be shit. I tell you what, I don't moan about the fucking weather and the sunbed. Get a sunbed, you come to the end of the season.
You know what? And that was the thing that frustrated me the most in the Tottenham game, right? At half time, the things that had frustrated me was, for the first goal, I watched no one speak. Yeah, when Tottenham scored the first, I was looking and I started shouting, and the Southerner at Manchester shouting loud, "Where's our fucking captain?" Everyone thought I was Tottenham in the end, right? But I'm shouting, "Where's our fucking captain?" Because no one was saying a word. Then they went and scored another. So I watched again. No one was speaking. And at half time, I went out the back to have a pie and was chatting to 2 kind of like 60-year-old guys. And we were just ranting for about 20 minutes. Came out, and instantly, whatever Pep said at half time, we came out and we were pressing, we were chasing every single ball. And instantly we scored 2 goals. I said, it's crazy what happens when you fucking try hard. Because it wasn't a case of the goal made the crowd get louder. Simply chasing after a fucking ball makes the crowd get louder. Because if we see players on the pitch running, we'll cheer for them. If we see players, we get frustrated. If we see players that we know can be that good, can recycle a ball regularly in 3 seconds, all of a sudden, not doing any of that at all, it's frustrating. Because like, we know you can do better than this. What is going on?
You went to Atletico Madrid last year, yeah? And we called it the Battle of Madrid, right? And Manchester City over the last 3 or 4 years, we'd have got bullied there. And we went to Madrid and we put it on them. Grealish was winding them up. Fernandinho was rattling people. Zinchenko was in people's faces. Foden was having a scrap and all that. We ain't like that no more. Rico Lewis is getting booted all over the park. Not one of our players went and helped him out. Yeah. We haven't got that fight. So teams are coming to City now, putting it on us, and half of them don't want it. That's the problem. They don't want it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think you're right. And the other thing I was going to say, that game, Steve, remember how
Getting
good
soft in their old ages, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
Okay, now.
Remember how good
I
the
can see you
crowd
two
was
just
because of
soaking it
that, though,
up.
Steve. In Madrid, remember how good the crowd was, because the minute you see the players on the pitch fighting, you're willing to fight because you'll be like, cool, we will be the 12th man. But if you're seeing a group of players, and you're spot on with that as well, and that's where I go back to the whole Bernardo, maybe De Bruyne slightly, because my big frustration with De Bruyne his whole career has been no one ever speaks on how good he is defensively, how much he gets back and puts a shift in. And this season, I haven't seen that in De Bruyne as well. He's still getting the assists. He'll always get them. But I'm not seeing De Bruyne get back and put a foot in as well. It's all very weird. And I do think slightly it's Fernandinho. No one's speaking enough on how much Fernandinho is a leader. And if you look at the moment, Steve, you've seen the rumours about Cancelo, right?
Mm.
And we know the rumours about Bernardo Silva.
Mhm.
I've always said Fernandinho is very important because he spoke Portuguese and he spoke English and he kept everything right in the dressing room. Right now, is it a coincidence? And I could be wrong that two of the Portuguese players at the moment both seem to want to leave. It does seem a little bit of a coincidence to me.
Yeah, you know what? Talking on leaders, Turkish, there's a lot going around at Arsenal at the moment, and I think one notable player that is a leader that obviously is played for both your clubs is obviously Zinchenko. Like Man United game, he was brilliant. You know, I think he's actually been brilliant for quite a few. Like ever since he's come back from injury, really, he hasn't really put a foot wrong.
Mhm.
Then you got another one, Party, you know, Ghana's captain. Then you got another one, obviously Zinchenko, Ukraine. Then you got another one, then another one. There's like about
Saka,
five. Yes, he's got about five leaders.
Odegaard.
Odegaard for the
Yeah.
national teams, and you could probably see it and feel it in the stadium alone. That like this team is not to be messed with at the moment, and I'm pretty sure Zinchenko will be in that change room saying this means a lot. This FA Cup tie. I don't think he's gonna be thinking like, oh yeah, it's a game rotate. He's probably gonna want Arteta to go full blitz.
Yeah, the psychological side of the game, that mentality monster side of the game has kind of grown more and more over the last decade plus. You know, leadership and structure and all of that's a key part of the game now. It's not so much quality as much as it was in maybe the 90s and early 2000s. Now, of course, there's quality players at Manchester City, there's quality players at Arsenal, but Steve hit the nail on the head. When you win so much over the years, albeit no Champions League, but I'm sure that's going to be the one to go for this season. If there is a choice to make out of the two, when you win so much, it's hard to keep players as hungry as they've been over the last few years. Pep said that over the years. Pep's alluded to having to refresh his team. So it isn't a surprise that there is a player or two. Listen, Bernardo Silva, this ain't the first time that he's been kind of not necessarily open about it, but linked to moves away from the club. It's just that Man City lost a few players in the summer, and I don't think they could have afforded to lose any more. And you kind of look at their form this season and inconsistency at times, and I think that's kind of proofs in the pudding there. But a lot of that has to come to Mikel Arteta because, you know, as much as they sold Zinchenko and Jesus to us, two quality players, great players, and I'd put Jesus in that leadership category as well. He's a winner. He leads by example too. You know, you look at Sterling, who's gone to Chelsea, and that hasn't worked out. And Sterling was the guy at times for you, more so than Zinchenko and Jesus at Manchester City. But that's why I put a lot of the credit down to Mikel, because Mikel's put that strong mentality into the side. I think who said it on the weekend? Someone said it that when you walk into whether the training ground or the stadium now, there's an empty trophy cabinet. There's an empty trophy cabinet, and Arteta's told the players that it's on you to put the Premier League title in there. Things like that. You know, a lot of people laughed at him for the "you'll never walk alone" in the all or nothing, and I get it. I can understand why it's banter considering the way we kind of went out there and got rolled over again. Cool. But at the end of the day, he's tried things that can improve the mentality of the side. He's tried things that can improve the aggression, the leadership, and over time, he's made right decisions left, right, and center. We had a problem with captaincy for years that date back before Mikel Arteta, but giving it to Odegaard was one of the best things he's done. Odegaard had the media spotlight on him from a very young age, 15, 16, going to Real Madrid. Big price tag, big expectations. It didn't quite work out. Come to the Premier League. Doesn't set it alight when he was here on loan. Doesn't set it alight in his first season in the Premier League as an official Arsenal player. But slowly but surely, given that leadership mantle, given the responsibility, Odegaard has become a phenomenal player for us, not just on the ball, but off the ball too. And that comes off the ball. It's more about mentality than it is about quality. Daps mentions winning the ball back within 5 seconds. He mentioned that he's not happy with the way Man City are doing it now. But look at the way Arsenal are doing it now. There's hunger there. There's desire there. There's aggression. When we ever got the ball, we want it immediately. This Friday will be interesting because we're away to the team that Mikel Arteta pretty much learned off, to the manager that Mikel Arteta learned off. So will we go with that same approach away to Manchester City, or will we maybe switch it up a little bit to accommodate for, the better team over the last 5 years? Of course, this season we've been the better team, but a lot of people just kind of discount Manchester City and say, oh, you're the better team now. You have to go there and you have to take the ascendancy and go on the front foot. Not necessarily. It's still Manchester City. It's still Pep Guardiola. And as much as that first half against Tottenham it wasn't even poor. In reality, it was just 2 goals out of nowhere for Tottenham. Look at what they've done in the second half. And Manchester City, they've still got quality. They've still got leaders. They've still got winners. And this Friday, I know the players, if not the players, Pep Guardiola is going to make sure them men are ready to go. So I want to see how we set up this Friday. It's going to be interesting. I don't even know what we're going to do, whether we're going to rotate, whether we're going to play the style we used to play in. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the thing. I think you're right there, yeah. And that's what I've noticed the last couple of days with Pep. Well, since the Tottenham game last week, because I think that was a big message. When we were 2-0 down, obviously I would have much rather been 2-0 up. But in hindsight, to be 2-0 down and then come and win 4-2 was that little bit of a reminder, because it's very similar to Villa when we were 2-0 down. And the fact that I know there'll be some Arsenal fans that say, oh, no, we don't fear, we're not watching that. But in the back of their minds, there will be this thing that it is a reminder that City are not down and out until we are completely...
I think at the same time, Daps, we know Tottenham are shit, man. That's what they're used to doing, innit?
Listen,
So if it was against
bro.
someone else, then yeah, I'd understand that. But bad example, fam. Bad example.
But since then, what's happened is Pep's kind of come out and he's using it to try and... It is almost... He came out and did that speech where he said, look, I won 4 leagues in a row at Barcelona. I got too comfortable and we lost 2 to Real Madrid. So I get where these players are coming from. I understand it. And it's almost like he's trying to say to the players, I get it. I get 100% where you are. But it's up to you. Do you want it? And I kind of said this on with Matisse the other day. Do you want to let these hungry hyenas eat? Or do you actually, because the whole thing with City's players has always been, we've always had these professional players that kind of stay away from the media and they just care about winning. Bernardo Silva was one of the biggest ones, and that's why it surprises me a little bit this season. I think he just needs to remind them all, and ultimately, any of them that throw their toys out of the pram because they have to fight for their position, they're probably not right for City, because this is where we can go back to Zinchenko and Jesus. The one thing with Zinchenko and Jesus is it was very rare that at the start of any season, either of them were starters for Manchester City. But by the end of the season, Zinchenko was often our starting left back and Jesus was often starting in the big games. We know that they had fight. And ultimately, if Cancelo, I'm going to say, if Cancelo and Bernardo don't have fight, they just want to leave, then do you know what? They can leave, man. And we get players, like Steve said, we get players in that want to play and want to win trophies.
You can't afford man like that anymore. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Mesut Ozil's career speaks for itself, yeah? But I can't lie to you, Odegaard has brought something completely different to Mesut Ozil. Yeah. And that's the off the ball, it's the mentality, it's the aggression. You can't afford to have a player that has that free role, that doesn't need to do the work off the ball. In our team now, Zinchenko's got that free role, which to us Arsenal fans is new, because obviously as one of the defenders having a free role is new to us, because over the years we haven't, got with the times. This is the first manager that's come in and brought that new school philosophy.
We played Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League at the Etihad, and Zinchenko played false 9.
Yeah.
What?
Look at that.
He started off as a winger, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he played Zinchenko, right? He was at Shakhtar. There was a war going on. He had no club. He was playing football in the street. An agent contacted City, said he got a kid there, £1 million. They took him. He went to PSV Eindhoven. I've got friends at Eindhoven. They hated him. They said he was stinking the gaff out. They sent him back. He started to play left back for City, got caught a few times, long balls over the top, didn't adapt to it. We accepted a bid of Wolves, 8 million quid. He turned around and said, no, what a stay and fight for my place. City fans were like, fucking hell, should have took the dough. He stayed, he fought. He you know, when you see this passion that you're saying now, this isn't a new thing. Zinchenko's always had this passion. He's a leader. Zinchenko deserves every fucking success the kid has got because it's a true story of a kid that decided he was never going to give up and fucking he's got everything in life that he deserves and City fans wish him the best, you know what I mean? And he's you know, there's a big 6 clip come out the other day, Turkish, where Matisse is saying to me, when I said Zinchenko was a bigger miss than Sterling, and he went, no, and him and Saeed were giving me shit. I'm fucking right.
Yeah,
and
now you are broke.
I'm right because I know what he brought.
He's our biggest miss, bro. He's our biggest miss for me.
And you know what, as well, you know what, as well. All the Arsenal players have said themselves that Zinchenko and Jesus have brought a different mentality to the club. And you know what? I don't like that analogy about the hyenas, Daps. Yeah, so you better take that back. They were hungry lions, mate. Hungry lions. Don't associate us with no little ratty hyenas. You get me? I'm telling you now for a fact. But look, putting all joking aside, I think what Arteta, what Turkish said as well, I very much agree. And I think the connectivity that he's brought between the fan base and the players as well is second to none. Yeah. And I think now the difference between last year and the years before, when we would go 1-0 down or we draw in a game, we won't have that self-belief to think, you know what, we can go on and win this game. Now it's totally different. Now we're pushing right till the last minute. And I think it's all down to the atmosphere as well that we've created at home. You know, we've not been beaten at home as well. And obviously I go to quite a lot of the games, bro. The atmosphere now from years and years, bro, it's been... Bro, I'm telling you now, it's sick. And even just little things that the club's doing, like bringing like these little clappers into the game and stuff like that, just to rear it up. I think Arteta has brought everybody on the same page. Look, I was a big person who doubted Arteta, and the guy's proven me wrong. He's proven a lot of fans wrong. And sometimes it's hard to see a process when you've been suffering for 18 years because you want someone to come in and start grabbing the team by the balls and making shit happen. But look, it's worked out. Even if we do lose the title to Man City, there's no shame in that because Man City have been the best team for me in the world for a number of years now. I think even in the Champions League, you guys have been quite unlucky to not go over the line and get a Champions League. And I'm sure you will get a Champions League within the next few years. For Arteta, where the process that we are right now is unbelievable, man. And it's all down to the mentality. Just Zinchenko that's come in, sick.
You know what? When he started, because when he left City, as in instantly, I thought he's taken it too soon. He should have stayed about for a little longer. Then I was driving home one day and I heard his first interview, right? And I heard him say, there's a lot of things wrong at this club. Everyone here needs to be pulling in the same direction and everyone's pulling in different directions. From the minute I heard that, I was saying to my brethren who are Arsenal fans, listen, because I've been lucky enough to see the Amazon Prime documentary on City and see how Pep is so, from the receptionist to the staff, everyone, the chefs, everyone has to have the same goal. And from I heard Arteta say that, I thought, yeah, all right, he's learned more than I thought. And when you look at it, then you look at the players he's got rid of. And Turkish touched on Ozil a minute ago. Look, I know there's a lot of Arsenal fans that will see it as slander, right? But if you look at the 3 eras of our lifetimes, some of us are old enough to just about remember the George Graham era, but if you're not, you're not. So the 3 eras, you've got the Invincible around that era,
Well, Preston
then
North End.
Then you've got the Ozil era, and then you've got the era now, right? If we're being honest, Ozil represents everything that was bad about your club. Like, and I know he is probably one of the most talented players you've had. But when you lot went one goal down, he went missing. He was not there fighting.
Kind of reminds us of the Paul Pogba stuff. It's a bit like that.
Do you know what, Daps? I agree. When Arteta come through the door, the way he spoke, I always liked it the way he spoke. I always liked it the way he came across and what he said that needs to change. However, it's a results-based business and he wasn't getting them results that we wanted. You know what I'm saying? I think with the Ozil situation, I agree. The reason a lot of Arsenal fans have attachment to Mesut Ozil because we didn't win fuck all for 9 years. And when this guy walked through the door, he helped us pick up our first trophy. And that's where the attachment come in and a bit of the leeway to think, okay, he's not just won 1, he's won 2, he's won 3. Let's just give him that kind of leeway. But as all Arsenal fans can see it and say it themselves, towards the back end of his time at Arsenal, everybody wanted somebody else in. Everyone can see that he's not that player to come back on the defense and help out. And he's a luxury player, and that's something that we couldn't have. Do you know what I mean? But I think with the Ozil situation, I agree. We did need to change on that. Bring in Odegaard in, somebody who'd been pushed from pillar to post. Yeah. Now he feels loved at a place. Now he feels like this is his club. And it's no coincidence he's shining. You get me? So
Yeah.
Arteta's done a lot of good stuff, man. Aubameyang as well. A lot of people would have been saying, you know what, we don't want Aubameyang to go. But again, we don't see what Arteta sees in training. North London derby, he missed it, got late. He sat him on his ass, put him on the bench, didn't let him play. It's no coincidence now Aubameyang's gone to Chelsea and these men are in the mud, innit? You know what I mean?
I big up my guys. By the way, there's 400 of you in here, and you're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting the channel. You're disrespecting the panel as well. You know, 151 likes. Are you man joking me? I get there's a few new people to Never a Foul. Big up everyone that's subscribed. But you lot should know how this shit runs by now. You know, so make sure you're running up the likes. Or I might just cut the show, bruv. You know, like that. You think I really care? But nah, I do. Care.
I do. So don't cut the show.
You cut in front of me there. All right, no, I'm joking. But yeah, man, make sure you run up the likes. I appreciate everyone that's in here. Got a super chat as well from Aiden Green. Says Daps and Ste should Diaz be given the captaincy?
Yeah.
You know what? Last week when I think I put my starting 11, it was for the either the Tottenham game or the Wolves game, and I dropped Gundogan. And the main reason I dropped him is because I kind of don't want us to be the club that strips anyone of the armband. Gundogan should stay, for me, for the rest of the season, should stay club captain, because I don't want to be that team that takes it off him and gives it to someone else. That ultimately isn't a good message. We see that with your club. It should not happen, right? But if Gundogan isn't on the pitch, for me, Ruben Diaz should be the leader, 100%. He's the one that I think we've missed massively. He's got that mentality. He really cares. And again, we talk about opening interviews. The opening interview with Ruben Diaz when he joined Man City, he said, the one thing fans need to know is I am obsessed with winning. I just want to win and I will give my all. All they need to know is I will give my all in every single game. And that is exactly it. I feel slightly like maybe, you know, when sometimes when a player joins the team, joins a club, and it's almost expected they're going to get the armband, because you got to think Vinny had left a year before. We'd kind of been floating about with who the captain was. And when Diaz walked through the door, everyone's like, yeah, he's going to be the captain. I feel like Pep's making him work for it. But right now, I feel it's the point. With Fernandinho gone, I've never thought De Bruyne is captain material. I think De Bruyne looks better when he isn't captain. I think Diaz is just the obvious choice. And yeah, it's just how you go about it, because I don't think we should strip it from Gundogan, but somehow Diaz needs to be leading on the pitch 100%.
Got another super chat here as well from Mojis. Big up Mojis, by the way. Long term or long time of the channel. You know, big subscriber. Says big up All Star panel. Arsenal humbling 1 of 3 incoming. Oh damn! Oh wait, yeah. See, it's 1 of 3. So what about the what about the other 2? Like, he's saying you're gonna lose that one where it counts.
No, he's saying the first of 3. I think he's saying, bro.
Hey, there's a lot of chess coming from both sides. I can't wait for it on Friday, man. Honestly, it's like this game should have happened ages ago.
Well, it should have happened
ages ago.
Should have happened back in October.
Well, yes, obviously a big event happened, isn't it? And then we got another super chat as well from City Bias TV. Big up yourself. It says, we're just evolving once again. We'll figure out. So I'm evolving once again. So you're meaning that City's the revival's there. Well, a little fact for you guys. Premzy in Turkish as well. So this is nothing. This rodeo for City's nothing new. It just came in different occasions. Obviously, like at the start of the season, they usually start poor. And then throughout the season, there might be a bit bumpy results, but typically they have these runs. Their best
normally a lot better than this at this stage.
Yeah, but their best runs is actually in Feb to May. Typically Feb to April. That's their best runs, and they usually go unbeaten because business end is a bit. Obviously, it's City's bread and butter. I think Liverpool fans know it. It sucks to be a Liverpool fan right now. Hold that joint 9th. But yeah, man. For me, this game, I don't think you can really afford just the fact of the game, the game alone, and how the size of it, that you can't really rotate. Like I think you need to be playing the party versus the Rodri Then you got your Walker coming. I think you're going to need to play your Martinelli and stuff. I think you got 7 days to rest. Did you say earlier?
No,
Right? 8 days?
Can I just point something out?
Go on. Of course you can.
Imagine Atletico Madrid had Partey and Rodri.
Yeah.
Yeah, but without getting rid of Partey, then they would have
Bro.
never had. They would never have got Rodri really coming up.
No, they played
No, they
together,
played
bro.
together.
They played together.
I think he was always the replacement. No, that's what I was
No, they
getting told by
played together.
Kento.
They
No,
played together, and even
played
Partey,
together.
we sniped him on the last day of the window.
Yeah.
And Rodri weren't
played
that
together.
under Atletico either.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Bro,
one of their
they
best
played
player.
together at Atletico, 100%.
Is this with Kobe?
100%.
What do you think of Rodri though? Because I've seen Rodri a lot better than what he has been this season, man. I think he's not fell off, but he's not being the same Rodri that you've seen over the last couple of years.
I think there's more pressure on him because of the fact that the other midfielders around him aren't doing their job. So we're seeing a lot more pressure on Rodri than we're used to.
Yeah, people are
Do you
tired.
reckon as well it's because of the centre backs as well? Sorry, Steve. Do you reckon it's because it's a change of centre backs as well that he's?
We never keep the same centre backs. It's fucking weird. He's mad. We need a settled team. But listen, Pep knows what we need to do. We just got to get there. The fact that we're not even playing well and we're second,
5 points off. 5 points off.
yeah, he's it's okay for that now. We just got to keep on the coattails. Don't let them get too far. Like I said, the business end of the season, them last 10 games are hanging. That's where the relegation teams start turning up, defending like fuck.
Yeah.
And I said it before on the show. There's one bit of advice I give anyone. When you're in a title running towards the end, there's going to be a game where you can play till midnight and you ain't going to win, right? But the best thing to do is get something. So you might be drawing 1-1 and you might go throw the sink at them. You get caught in a counter-attack and lose and you've lost. But you better to get a point. This season against Brentford, we was never going to win that game.
Yeah, spot on,
right? But we threw the tank at them. They caught us on the counter-attack 2-1. And that happened over many seasons with City. And we're finally learning now that to take it on the chin. We played Sunderland in the 2012. We were 2-0 down, 2-1 down or whatever at the Etihad. We was never going to beat them. It was that day where nothing was clicking. And Sammy and Razdi scored and we got a point. And that point for me, that's when I knew. I thought we're going to win the league because sometimes you've got to take it on the chin. You're going to see games soon where teams are going to come, they're going to roll around on the floor, they're going to be taking ages on goal kicks, they're going to frustrate the fuck out of you. And as fans, because you've seen this great football, doesn't allow you to play it. And it's how you deal with that. You know, if Arsenal lose, it's how everyone deals with it. The last thing you need is a full-on meltdown because they're playing well. If you've got to get back on the horse straight away and go for it, galvanise everyone. Look at the club, the difference in the club from Arsenal from last season to this season, on and off the pitch. When you're winning and everyone feels good, you've got Arsenal fans that I spoke to over the years who have been in my DMs slagging Arteta to death. Now they're loving life because it breeds that feeling and you get the feeling in your chest. And that's what you've got to keep that feeling going. Even when the shit hits the fan, you've got to keep everyone on. I'm quite a positive fan for my fan base, and City fans will criticise me sometimes and go, you don't ever slag no one off and all that. It's because I've never been, this will never be as worse than where I've ever been. So, to me, this is positive shit. We just got to keep going. We're not entitled. You know what I mean? We keep on doing. We're Man City. We're not a joke. We ain't going away. Arsenal have got the baton and they're ahead of us. We just got to chase them down. That is all we can do. You're not going to get no cocky shit from me. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I've been in a battle with Liverpool, a great Liverpool side for the last 5 years. It drained the fucking life out of me. Them last 10 games make you ill, mate. Yeah. And that's what's coming for you two, for us two. It's coming again. It's going to go to the wire. I just hope we keep on the coattails and we have a proper running.
You know what I can't stand, right? Is this media stuff with Arteta at the moment. You know, the sideline antics. Pep Guardiola does it and Arteta does it. Student-like thing. You're going to learn from that. It's passion, innit? But then they want to glorify Klopp when he does it or Tuchel when he done it. And it's like, okay, that's passionate. But when Arteta does it, this media...
The media is going to come for him.
And the fans, the
media is going to come for him soon. They're going to come for him. In any way, shape or form, they're going to try and destroy him because they don't like to see people doing well. And that's what happened. You look how many times Mikel could have got the sack. And you've got to give credit to the board as well because they stuck to they had immense pressure. You guys were swinging off the hot dog stands outside. You're trying to kill everyone. They're just fucking. Premzy's on a murder charge, man. When I come out of that game at the 2-1, I stood there with Premzy on the AFC interview. Did I not, Premzy, and tell everyone that Arteta was the man and you need to give him time.
You did. But you know, Steve, like you said, you have had him for a couple of years under Pep, so you've understood him.
I knew what the players were saying.
As an Arsenal fan, you've got to look at it from our point of view. We've just got a manager through the door who's never ever had a managerial career in his life. Do you know what I mean? And we've been in the mud for 18 years.
Do you know what the worst thing for you lot happened to you lot with him? Tottenham. You lot were so obsessed with what was going on at Tottenham when they got Conte, and it pissed you guys off, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what? You was fuming. Why can they get fucking Conte and we've got Arteta? Why can they get him and we've got them? Look at it now. Everyone, look at it now.
Yeah, for real.
Toby's back in the dressing gown with pina coladas on Suicide Watch, and you lot are bouncing in the fucking away end. That's how football changes.
Quick.
You know, but this is it. You're allowed to change your mind, Steve. You're allowed to change your mind. There's no law against it, isn't there, fam? You know what I mean? This is where a lot of fans are all twisted, yeah. Because see with me, yeah, I say it as I see it, bro. You get me? That's what I do. I see football and I say it as it is there and then. You get me? I'm not a fucking fortune teller who can tell you what's going to happen 12 months down the line. You know what I mean? So good job to Arteta that he switched us all around and we've given him his credit. I've even come out, give him his apology on AFTV where I've killed him off because I'm man enough to do it. At the end of the day, yeah, if you've earned your flowers, you're in your right to get them. And that's what he's done. But look, right now, we just got to focus on forgetting about all of this. Or he said this, she said this. We just need to keep that connectivity together and keep pushing. You know what I mean, bro? I'm telling you, there's not that many Arsenal fans that spend more money than me going to games, bro. Best believe that. I'm telling you now for a fact, yeah. And I've got my right to say whatever I want to see. You know what I mean? If I want to say something that I see, I'm saying it, bro. This is how I've always been. Do you know what I mean? And good job that these fuckers seen me at Aston Villa at the Islington fucking Hilton, yeah. And I told these guys, listen, this ain't fucking good enough, mate. This ain't good enough. And since that Aston Villa game, they went on a mad thing. So I take responsibility for that.
You know what? I've got a question. I've got a question for Turkish and for Premzy. Right? I was thinking about this because it's been a conversation over the past couple of years, yeah. And now, where you are points-wise, I believe you're on 50 points in 19 games, right?
Yeah.
So you're on the way. So you're halfway to 100, right? If you man win the league this season and get 100 points, which one's a better achievement? 100 points?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
That's a great question.
I tell you, for me, winning the league with 91 points and getting a gold Premier League trophy is much more impressive to me.
But that's because you made that trophy yourselves. You can make one for 100 points.
Yeah.
Listen, that's what haters say. That's what haters say.
Genuinely, and I'm not. I'm asking you. You just said.
But people tend to forget that. People tend to forget that we won the league unbeaten with 91 points, bro. That's a lot of
bro,
points.
you don't let anyone forget that, bro.
Yeah, and Preston North End were the first ones to do the double unbeaten.
But it's a genuine question. Because like you said, 91 points, invincible. Going invincible is true to what Steve was saying. Steve was saying in some of the games, it's better to take 1 point than no points. So I get it. Invincibles, I'm not downplaying it. It's one of the greatest achievements. But I'm asking you genuinely, do you still think, if you get 100 points, will you still think that getting 91 points and being invincible is getting
100%, bro? That's no question. 100%, bro. That's just dumbness, that, bro. Go if it was that easy and you's man have been the best team for 5 years for so long. You haven't even done it now to this day.
But you've never done 100 points. We're talking about what someone's never
bro.
done.
We've not done fuck all for 18 years. What are you talking about, bro? I'm telling you, we've not done nothing for 18 years. But times are changing. You know what I mean? Arteta's bringing some belief back into us. But the achievements that we've got, people just love to hate and throw shade on Arsenal, bro. Listen, there's a lot of stuff that we've done that many teams haven't done. Won the league at Chelsea, won the league at Old Trafford, won the league at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? We've won the league won the league at the Lane. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of accolades that Arsenal have done. People don't forget, with the third club, yeah, that's got the most trophies in history, bro. Put some respect on our name. Simple as that. I'm not having it. One of the only teams other than Everton not to get relegated, and these men are going down this season. So it looks like we're going to be holding that as well. Do you know what I say? But honestly, it's a good achievement what you've done. But having a gold Premier League trophy, bro, if it was that easy, one of you or Liverpool would have already had it by now. It's not that easy, bro.
Who made that gold trophy, though?
The Premier League, fam. Premier League. That's who made it.
Tell the truth.
It's the Premier League.
I'm telling the truth.
David Dean. He asked for that. innit?
That's a
But
David
who
Queen.
made it though? Who made
Premier
it?
League
Did he
David
go
Queen.
to the corner shop and
It's
wave
it's
white
simple.
like
David-
a
David
man?
Queen
Wave
gave
you
him
Give
the
me
right.
a
idea.
trophy.
It's
Abdul
simple
come
to
forward.
say.
Abdul, fuck off. You know what I mean?
It's simple to say. In my opinion, when you play a game of football and win, what do you get after a win? 3 points. So you play football for points, yeah? So if you get the most points in English football history, yeah, and win the league that nobody's
Also
ever
play
done,
football not
that's
to
fine.
lose as well. fam.
But if we draw 38 games, you know, we're invincible, but we're relegated.
Yeah, and you'll also be relegated as well, mate. That's what I'm
Exactly.
trying to say. The end of the day, yeah, it's
Points
one of them
make prizes.
situations.
Remember that. Points make
Football
prizes.
is about winning, fam. Football's about winning or not losing, and we didn't lose
should
one
I-
game
should
that
I- should I
season.
Look at this,
interject?
yeah?
Should I interject there then?
What color is this emoji here? When you type trophy and you look at the emoji, it's gold. We're the only ones that can
I
use
ain't
that
got a
emoji.
fucking clue what that
We're
is.
the only ones that can use that. We're the
Nah,
only
you're
ones with
playing
that.
it. Nah,
Come on.
Hey,
from-
another big question is: if you do win the Premier League, yeah, if you do win the Premier League this year, do you reckon at last you'll be able to retain it?
It's going to be difficult. Bro. That's
One
honest
step
opinion.
at a time, Daps. One step at a time, my brother.
and he's gonna
Was
sip
that
his
one
tea.
game?
He's trying
One
to put
game
pressure on next season now.
Nah,
Fucking hell,
it's true though, innit? You got to look at it realistically, man. It's going to be hard. City are obviously going to come back.
Of course.
We can't compete with yous with the financial resources that you've got,
the
bro.
thing that you've
After
got,
what's
though,
kind of
Premzy,
happened this season, bro.
The thing you've got
These are gonna
though
be on
is
a mad thing.
is your age. You got
You
the
are
lowest
competing
age
now, though, bro.
You got to get.
That stadium's paid off. You've shown over the last couple of seasons in the transfer market. You lot are competing now.
Bro, we
Yeah.
spent £360 million over the course of 3.5 years. Arteta's been there. That's just over 100 million. That's not much, that, bro. I'm telling you now.
That goes to 400 odd now, by the way, because of obviously.
That's not much.
Pretty
when you
certain
think about
that's
it,
not
that's
City
about
over the
100
last
odd million
few
per
years.
season. But what's it called? Before we wrap it up in that, I thought I'd put my input. If you had to ask me, what would I rather do, Centurions or the Invincibles? I'm taking Invincibles, man. I can't lie. I want a gold trophy. But
Have you seen the size of it though? I thought it was a full-size gold Premier League trophy. Some Arsene Wenger come out with some.
You know,
tiny
real gold cost real gold cost a pretty penny. You know,
I was like, what
real
the fuck's
gold
that, mate? It's like the
pretty penny,
ashes.
Steve.
It's like the ashes.
You know
Paul
what I
Bearer.
mean? You could go and pawn all your trophies in and pawn our trophy, and ours is still valued more.
Don't
mate.
worry, man. You lot are at the Emirates in a couple of weeks. I'll take you for a tour. I'll show you the gold trophy, man. You'll see the size
Yeah, I
of it.
need to see that, man. I need to see that.
Will we be able to see it? That's the question. Will we be able to get close enough?
Don't worry, that's come true, man. Come
big
true.
up, big up,
I'll let you
Obey.
in.
He says, big up for the super chat. Says, big love to everyone. Enjoy your emoji. I'll have fun with the Prem in May. But yeah, so this game, obviously, just gonna wrap it up now. I want to get some predictions in. I don't know if you want to get involved, that's because you don't like your predictions at the moment. But I feel like you should. It is the FA Cup. It's not exactly Premier League.
Mate.
I think a lot is
Been talked
riding on
into
this
it too
game.
many times and
I
it's
think
fucked up.
a
I'm not
lot is
doing it.
riding on this game, man. I think whoever wins on Friday, they go 1-0 up straight into that next fixture in mid-Feb, like just for the psychological part of it. So Premzy, just to start off with you on Friday, what do you think that I'll put this nicely. Okay, what do you think the score is going to be? I was going to ask what team would you go with, but bun that.
Do you know what? I can't lie. I can't sit here and just lie and say, "Oh, I think we're gonna go and win, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that." Because I honestly don't. I think it's gonna be a very tough game. I can see us actually drawing the game, and if we don't draw, I'd probably say I can see City 2-1. It's gonna be a tight game, but City are at home. It's they are favourites for this. I can see some changes coming from Arteta, so we're not gonna play our strongest 11, in my personal opinion. So it's going to be difficult. I think we'll probably get a draw, you know. I think we'll get a draw, and
Is
it'll
there
just piss
replay?
everyone else off because we'll have another
Is
game.
there
Yeah.
replay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Ste, what we thinking?
I think it'd be a tight game. I think City will win it. I think we might nick it 2-1. I can't lie. I'd swap this game for the Prem game. You know what I mean? The Prem. It's going to be totally different, but whether it's psychological or what, you know, we just need to get the job done. 2-1.
2-1. So we got 2-1. We got a tie. Turkish.
Yeah, I agree with Premzy and Steve. I mean, I've predicted 2-1 City already. I can see us getting a draw, but because of the rotation, I expect, City's squad depth will probably shine through in the end. So 2-1 City, in my honest opinion.
Oh, Daps, you get involved?
It's going to be a good game, mate.
So you're gonna get involved? I'm seeing a lot of people saying City in the comments at the moment. I don't see one Arsenal thing at the moment.
I'm not doing it now. I'm not doing it.
There you go.
I'll take that. I think think it's gonna be a
I
draw.
know what
you
I
know.
think, but I'm not
I
saying
think it's. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a 2-2 draw, man. And I think Haaland plays and he bags, and I think Alvarez bags. But at the same time, I think Saka will play and get a goal as well. Maybe both of them. Don't know why. But yeah, man. Obviously, love for everyone coming on today. Giving up the time, guys. Make sure you check them out in the description below or in the title. Big Steve's channel, Turkish, also Big Six, and Premzy TV. Catch him on AFTV as well, and obviously catch Daps on Big Six Extra tonight, which is gonna be at 10
p.m.
10
p.m.
p.m.
on the official channel, Big Six Extra.
And make sure you to check out Premzy with his I think you got you got a show called Premier League Uncut or something like that.
Unpacked Premier League,
Unpacked Premier League, and that's every
Mondays, normally 8 o'clock.
Mondays 8 o'clock, man. So make sure you watch out for that one, man. Great panel there. Big up to everyone in the comments. Make sure you like this on the way out. Has anybody else got anything to say?
Come on, you Gunners.
May the best team win, man. May the best team win. That's it.
May the best team win, man. And yeah, love to all you guys, man. And we are out. If it's allowing me to actually run it. There we go.